So 6.1b is dealing a lot with radicals, just like, I mean, you've dealt with radicals a lot in the past. But it's important that you know the terminology, what is what, because when I am talking about something, you'll be like, what is the index? I don't know what she's talking about. Well, I'm going to tell you what all the pieces are. That way, when we mention it, it's very clear. So here's how the setup works. If I have this n here, okay, we call that our index. If it's a square root, that n is a 2, right? If it's a cube root, that n is a 3. If it's a fourth root, that n is a 4. So it's basically saying it's the number that we are taking the root of. I said that weird. It's not the number you're taking the root of. It's the number of times, essentially, you're rooting something. So that's your index, okay? Index is your n there. The symbol, okay, we call that our radical symbol. That's like a lot of times when I talk about a number, I will call it rad2, right? It's a radical 2. So the radical symbol is the actual marking. And then the number that's underneath it is called your radicand. Okay, so in this case, that A is your radicand, the number that we are taking the something root, the nth root of. When we are doing this stuff, okay, when it's just a symbol like this, where we're just taking the something root, the nth root of something, we are only going to take what is called the principal root, okay? The principal root is the positive answer when your index is an even number, because think about like, remember when we did something like this, x squared equals 16, okay? When it's written as an equation like that, x, there's a variable and we have the radical with it, or the number that will soon be a radical. When we take the square root like this, then we said x equals what? Impress me right now. Plus or minus 4, right? So in the past, when we've set it up as an equation like that, you get 2 answers, okay? Today's problems are not equations. Today's problems are just saying, here's the cube root of 64, here's the fourth root of 81, here's the square root of 81. When we do that, we don't give both answers, okay? We only give what we call the principal root, which is a positive answer if this number out in front, the 3, the 4, the 4, if your index is an even number, we just want the positive answer, okay? Now, if your index is an odd number and the number underneath is negative, it's going to be a negative answer because that's what the answer would be. I'll show you in a minute. But just keep that in mind. You're not giving a plus or minus answer at all right now, okay? It's just going to be the positive one or the negative one, whichever applies. So get your calculators out if you haven't already. I'm going to show you a button right now. I think you've seen it. We used it a little bit last semester. But if you look at that letter A there, it's the cube root of 64. Anyone remember how to punch in the cube root of 64 on your calculator? Math. Is it 3? I was thinking it was 4. I think it's math 4. Why isn't my calculator opening up here? Oh, here it is. Let me show you real fast on this one. Gosh, this thing is moving slow today. Oh, do you guys miss this stuff? No. Can we go back there?
No. It wasn't that
It
bad.
was so easy, right? It's easy. Easy stuff. Okay, so if you hit the math button here and then the number 4, okay, then you can type it in. There is another, well, you guys, none of you would have that calculator, so never mind. Math 4, okay? So if I want to know the cube root of 64, I would type in a 64 here, math 4, 64, hit enter, and it will give you that number. Okay, so the cube root of 64, I'll jump back to my screen in just a minute, but I want to show you one other thing. So look at the next one there. That's a 4th root. Okay, now if you look at your calculator, the number 5 has the X out in front of it. You can't just hit that and then a 4. You have to hit the 4 first. So if you go second quit, hit 4, and then math 5. Okay, notice what it just did? It turned my X into a 4. Now it's going to take the 4th root of 81, hit enter, and that will give you a 3. Okay, so some of these you can do off the top of your head. I'm so fine with you using your calculator to check what you came up with. That's great. But just know this is going to come in real handy in the future with what you have to solve for. I'm going to keep working across real fast because I want you to see one more thing while I have my calculator up here. Look at the square root of negative 100 and look at what the question is asking you. Example 1 says, find the real root. The real root. Okay? So when they ask you to find the square root, second, this little button here, the square root of negative 100. Do you get that when you do it? What's the issue? There's no real solution. There is a solution. What is the solution?
Negative,
10i, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said. So I heard that. 10i is the answer. It's just not a real solution. So just pay attention to what it's asking. Find the real root. Find the real solution. Remember, root is solution, okay? So just be careful with that. Be aware. It's very doable. You got to make sure you're thinking through what they're actually asking you to find. Okay, let me jump back to here. Write some of those in. So, gosh, the sun is following me, you guys. I went the wrong way. Let's go this way. Oops. Try again. Okay. Cube root of 64 is 4. 4th root of 81, we plugged that in. Hopefully you plugged it in. You get 3. So this one, remember you're plugging in 4 and then hit math and then 5 will give you the 4th root, okay? 4 math 5 to get you the 4th root. So E is going to be no real solution. Okay. Letter B, what is the square root of 81? 9. Don't do plus or minus 9, okay? When it's just the symbol and the number like that, we're just looking for the principal root, which is 9. Okay, so the cube root of negative 27. Try that in your calculator. So you're going to go math, what number? Math 4, and then type in negative 27. Did you get an error that time? No, because it's a cube root, okay? Negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 will get you a negative number. So that's okay. Cube roots can have a negative underneath like that. Your answer is negative 3. Okay, letter F, the 4th root of negative 16. What do you get? No real solution. So hear me one more time on this. If your index, right, this would be a 2, a 4. If your index is a positive, even number, don't even worry about positive, they'll all be positive. If your index is an even number and your radicand, the number underneath, is negative, it's going to be no real solution every time, okay? But you can have a negative radicand if it's an odd index. So if this number is an odd number, you can have a negative underneath and you will get a solution, okay? Any questions on that? Okay, last thing, this gets a little bit fancier. The book does this a little more in depth than we're going to do it. We're going to just keep it a little more simple. So your book, if you're looking at the answers, for instance, you're going to see absolute value bars in places. We're not even going to go there. We're going to stick with the principal root, and we're just going to leave everything as positive, okay? So you don't need to put any absolute value bars in. So if you're going back to how the book is explaining to do it, it's going to look a little different than what I'm saying right now, just because we're keeping it simple. So just keep that in mind when you check your answers tomorrow, or it'll be the next day for you guys, Thursday. Don't worry about the absolute value bars, okay? So we're going to simplify these 4, and then we're done. Here's the deal with this. You can think of this as 2 separate things. You can think of it as the square root of 9 and the square root of x to the 6th. I'm never going to do that. I usually just do one piece at a time, but without having to rewrite it. So if you want to rewrite it as 3 individual things, or in this case, 2 individual things, however many things there are, you're welcome to do that. Just know I don't require you to do that, okay? But here's what you do. And maybe you want to make a little note of this up here. When you are simplifying, now that there's variables that are under the radical symbol, when you have variables, you are going to divide the exponent by the index number. Okay, keep that in mind. You're going to divide the exponent by the index number to figure out what it should be. Okay. Okay, so let's think about this. Essentially, what's my index for this one? It's a 2, right? When there's no number there, it's the square root. That's a 2. Okay, so what is the square root of 9? 3. Okay, now you take this, x to the 6th, and we square root it. So it looks like this. Okay, the square root of x to the 6th, what you do is you do exponent divided by index. So 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So it's x to the 3rd power. Okay, exponent divided by index. This is this simplified, 3x to the 3rd. Okay, look at the next one. So start here. What is the cube root of 8? What times itself 3 times is going to give you 8? 2. 2 times 2 times 2. And if you want to plug that into your calculator, that's fine. Plug in the cube root of 8. You cannot plug in variables for this, but you may do it with the number if you want to do it with the number. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay? Now look at the next chunk. You have a 3 here, and you have a to the 3rd. You're going to take index and divide. So take the exponent divided by the index, and you get what? Just a to the 1st power, right? 3 divided by 3 is 1. So a to the 1st. Okay, now go here. B to the 6th. Don't forget, we still have an index of 3 is what?
2.
B to the 2nd power. Okay, so you may take it one piece at a time if you prefer to rewrite it as the cube root of 8 and the cube root of a cubed and the cube root of b to the 6th. That's fine. In the end, this is what you should be coming up with, 2ab squared. Okay? If you're looking for a way to check your answer, let me show you what you can do. If you take your answer and we did a cube root of it, that means if we cube our answer, it should end up as what we started with, right? So 2ab squared. If I cube the whole thing, it should become my radicand. It should become this chunk underneath. So 2 cubed is 8. A cubed is a cubed. B squared cubed is b to the 6th. This is what we started with under here, so we know we have the right answer. Okay, so you can always redo what we just undid to check if it's right. Okay, letter C. what does that become?
Squared.
5
5x squared.
x squared y to the 5th. Okay, square root of 25 is 5. X to the 4th, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5. Remember, if there is no number there, it's a 2. Okay? All right, last one, and then we are done. So you need the 4th root of 10,000. Anyone know what that is? It's 10. If you don't, what are you going to plug into your calculator? 4 math 5, right? So 4 math 5 will get you this whole symbol, 4 math 5, and then plug in the 10,000. But it is 10. X to what power? So it's 4 divided by 4, right? So x to the 1st power. So just 10x. And then it's y to the 16 divided by 4. So y to the 4th power. Okay? And that would be your answer. How do you check your answer if you need to? Take this whole thing to what power? To the 4th. If it's a 4th root, take it to the 4th power. And if you were to distribute that, you would get what we started with underneath here. Okay? And you don't have to do that. I don't make you check your answer on that. But if you're ever like, ugh, I feel like I did something wrong, just plug it back in, see if it's right. Okay? Any questions on that? It's pretty short. And I feel like your homework is pretty short. And you still have 15 minutes right now. So if there's anything from that first concept bite that you want to keep going over, if there were any problems I didn't get to, I'm happy to do those for you right now. If you're comfortable, then you can get started on